Okay guys, I want you guys to play nicely while I go focus on Europe. Have fun! Welp. God dang it, alright Kimmy Boy, come here, you're about to be liberated! So, the Korean War was a conflict that happened between the Americans, Chinese, and Koreans from around 1950 till around 1953. Now, this war is forgotten by a lot of people, so let's give everyone a refresher on what happened to start the war. So, 1945, World War II is over, 2 nukes have been dropped, and Korea is split between the Americans and Russians, the 2 best countries to share a border. Oh wait, nope, they actually hate each other. In the northern Soviet-controlled area, the Russians propped up a communist regime led by Kim Il-sung, and in the southern American-controlled region, the US propped up a capitalist, democracy run by Syngman Rhee. Now, when 2 countries are propped up by 2 opposing superpowers, they tend to hate each other. So that's exactly what happened. When both the Soviets and Americans left in the late 1940s, the 2 countries were vocal about wanting to reunify. Only problem was, they both wanted to control the same peninsula. See where the issue might arise here? Both countries hated each other, but it wasn't until 1950, when the North Koreans invaded the South, that this hate turned into a war. Now that the North had invaded, they steamrolled past Seoul and pushed the South Koreans all the way to Busan, which nowadays is known as Busan, so you know what? Award for a real original name there, guys. Leaving the South Koreans with a tiny area which was known as the Busan Perimeter. And now, in breaking news, the North Koreans have invaded the South and are about to overrun the South Korean military. We'll be back with breaking news later on. Ready the army. Aha, you have been tricked, and trapped, and bamboozled as well, and now you will be wiped out. Alright, get out, you're being liberated from existence. After the North invaded, the West had basically been panicking for 3 months until the American-led intervention into the war. Once landing, the Americans, with help from a UN-led force, and from what was left of the South Korean military, pushed the North Koreans out of the Busan perimeter and quickly forcing them back across the border. Later, the Americans and UN invaded the North, occupying Pyongyang and pinning the North Koreans against the Chinese border. Howdy, Americans! Really? Come on, man! Come on! So with the North Korean military pinned by the West, the Chinese government decided to send around 1,500,000 troops to defend the North Koreans and push back the UN. You know, that might be a little bit overkill, but I mean, hey, I'm not an authoritarian state, so what do I know? Please, China, don't kill me for that. So, with the Chinese support, the UN forces were pushed back to the 38th parallel, and the war basically became a stalemate for the next 3 years. Now, one particularly brutal battle during this time was the Battle of Chosin Reservoir. Now, this battle is considered one of the most brutal in the war, and also in the history of modern warfare due to violence, casualty rates, and unfavorable weather conditions. This battle also had 17 Medals of Honor awarded and 78 Distinguished Service Crosses awarded. Only second in American history to the Battle of the Bulge. But in 1953, both sides had enough and signed an armistice in the village of Pamujan, setting the border back to what it had basically been before the war. And afterwards, there was everlasting peace between the 2 Koreas. You know, if you ignore all the threats and the nukes. Aren't geopolitics fun?